Okay, let's try this again. If this doesn't work, then I'm plugging my computer in. I'm gonna order some Ethernet cables. Anyways, okay. Ooh, that looks a little better. It could have been the map that I was playing to. I don't know. I'm just making sure that we're not lagging here. Remember when we used to fly this? That's what we used to do for FPV. Okay, looks like we're good. So what the point of today is just to start locking stuff in. So let's find an object here. So the point of this is just to get as many repetitions in. It might be a little bit boring to do, but you always want to land on axis. You when I'm doing these tricks and I'm just doing like, you know, stuff like this. You always want to keep that tanker in frame. This just gets the muscle memory going, and just kind of like the timing, right? It's a lot. It might get like a little bit. You might get more motion sickness while you're watching it, but for myself, I'm concentrating on where I'm starting the trick and when I'm ending it. And it's relatively easy to practice consistency. You just gotta go in and get your reps in. But the hardest thing is sticking to it and not just going and flying what you want to fly. There was a music teacher that I used to go to, and he said that technique was freedom. So if you had really good technique in guitar playing, you could get whatever it was in your head out. And I believe it's the same with this. If you can just do whatever you want to do at will, at any point on any object, you are going to be a better pilot. So going in and doing the reps is really important. This is going to be a quick little sim session. I'm not going to let it go past 20 minutes today. I'm still having a hard time getting it. It's like an easy trick, but getting the timing to make it look good and right is still a challenge for me on that one. It's because you want that backwards motion look. So when you flip upside down, you want that, you know, motion of the ground moving backwards. And to get that, you have to do this, like, power at a certain point to get it really flicking good. And I'm always afraid I'm just gonna like lawn dart the quad into the ground, so this is definitely a trick I gotta work on. I also gotta start working on like that again, because this was a, oh, you know what, let me bring up my okay, there we go. Stick overlays. So this trick used to be, like, if you look at now, it's like I'm rolling on axis and all I have to do is press the rollover, right? Before I used to have to go like that to roll it properly. So now it's like, it's hard. Like even now my throttle hand wants to move over, right? So this is just going to be a little bit of repetition work. I'm doing well, buddy. We're just locked in the house. And, you know, I'm doing a lot of yard work. We don't have much grass on our property, but we have a shit ton of paver stones. So the good thing is I don't have to cut the lawn, but every 2 years I found that I've had to do the pressure washing. So I've been doing that, just getting the backyard and and everything in it just ready for summer and spring. Spending more time in the backyard. Fed the koi fish today for the first time. Did these little walking exercises with Bodhi, which was fun. I think he gets it now. Like, he's so strong. Like, even at 5 months, he was standing by himself and stuff, just like holding on to the railings. But he just isn't showing an interest right now in walking, and he's 9 months, just turned 9 months, and I thought he was gonna be like a 6 to 7 month walker, but doesn't seem that way. But you know, at his own time, he's crushed a bunch of milestones, which is good. But after today's exercising in the backyard, I think he gets it. He's just like, oh whoa, I can be totally mobile and view stuff if I learn to walk. So, and that was fun. So again, if you're just coming into the live stream, all I'm trying to do today is work on consistency, and that's obviously reps. So like anything sim work is never gonna be like, you know, fun. For me, I've always thought of sim work as a meanings to the end, in the way that you're doing these tricks so you can go out in the real world and become a better pilot, get better footage. So it's a little bit like work, but it's just like a gym session. You know, no one wants to go lift weights, but you got to go lift weights. You got to put the reps in if you want to look good. Same with this. If you want to fly good, you got to put the reps in. Yeah, totally therapeutic. I mean, Valent 630420 is saying that it's therapeutic work in the yard. Absolutely. I actually like it's very satisfying pressure washing. So as you can see, I kind of just pick one trick and do it over and over again until it gets to the point where I'm like, okay, I've done 5 of them, and it's good. You also have to, so if I'm doing this trick and yawing to the left, you also want to do them and yaw the other way. To be very thorough. Yeah, I don't know why it was choppy. That other level, apparently, like, it was using up, I have a pretty good GPU, and it was using up almost 99% of it, so I don't know what was up with that level. And it was super small, too. And then at the same time, my internet's just been shit, and then I went and changed out a Cat 5 cable that was going to my wireless router to a Cat 7, which I don't know why it was put in there, but it was. So it should be good now. So again, consistency. It's very easy. It's very easy to get consistent at these tricks. You just have to go in there and make a point of doing everything that, you know, like roll that way, go. So let's see, for instance, I'm using Velocidrone. Okay, so let's just take this trick, roll, yaw. So roll, yaw, 360, and then roll back. Okay, so we gotta go roll right, yaw left, and then you gotta go roll left, yaw left, and then you gotta go roll left, yaw right, and so forth and so forth. So forth and so forth. So that's kind of how I get these tricks consistent like this. And you know, that one was a little bit off axis, and they are. So you go back and you do 3 to the point where they are on axis, right? And then move forward. I don't know if any of you guys are musicians, but if you ever, like, I play guitar, and you know, there's one scale, but there's so many different ways to practice that scale, right? Whether you skip this, you know, whether you skip a note, or you play in different time, or just a different pattern. Like, there's just so many different ways. If you only do pull-ons or pull-off of the scale, like, that's pretty much what we're doing here. So Yeah. Thanks, Simon Saucy. Simon Saucy. I noticed, like, I was watching back The Sim and just like trying to figure out what I did with those trees, and I was like listening to myself talk, and I really slur my words. I gotta work on that, but it's mostly because my GPU in my head's being used up mostly for these tricks, so talking isn't gonna be. But Simon Saucy says, my flying in the mist video was mind-blowing. Yeah, it's pretty easy flying. It was more right time, right place. Me and my buddy Aaron went out, and we saw the weather was doing all this really funky stuff with the clouds, but it wasn't raining, so we took advantage of it and just found a couple spots to fly, and turned out it made really good content, right? Yeah, so if you're just joining us now, we're just doing showing you guys how I do my consistency sim training for tricks. And if you've been watching, it's secrets is repetition. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so let's work on that for a second. Do a little bit of a wall ride, but then push off and go into. So I really like this trick, that trick, or just that motion. But it's always good, you know, not to deviate from the plan, but if you've done something and it looks cool, you gotta kind of work it for a second. Yeah, I like it. So this is definitely a trick I would have to write down. There's so many tricks out there, and you can get very like not complacent, but you can get into doing the same shit over and over again. And especially when you're in the sim, you're like, oh man, I can do all these tricks in the sim, but as soon as I get to the field, it's like, what was I working on? So I like writing my stuff down and making sure that I do them when I get to the field. The fourth dimension was a good example of that. There was a lot of tricks I just wanted to get on film. I've been doing them in the sim, and then I'd get my phone out, look at 2 or 3 of them, try to incorporate them into a line, and then yeah, the rest is history. No, I don't. Ripin AZFPV asked me if I run the same rates across the board. I don't know if you can kind of judge. I like my pitch a little bit faster than my roll, and that's just so you can do and then, so this is my roll, that's my pitch, and then this is my yaw. I just play what feels good. If it doesn't feel good, I change it and get to the point where I'd want to have it. Okay, what we're working on here before we start doing wall rides and getting distracted. So I'm having a hard time when I do this trick and roll and yaw left out of it. It's obviously easier to do because when you're pulling that stick to the left, it's an easier pull than if you have to pull it away from your hand. This is what I found. And this is why I feel like a lot of people learn how to turn left before they learn how to turn right. It's just a naturally easy way to turn. So for this next 2 minutes, I'm literally only gonna yaw to the right. Ayah. Yeah, Simon Sauce, I will walk you through an inverted power loop, which is the same as the trick you're talking about. But let me just get some reps in here. And then I'm going to walk you through a inverted power loop. And then I'm going to end the stream here. It's also very important that you practice throttle management when you're doing these tricks to make sure that you're not gaining too much altitude when you're spinning around your yaw. Okay. Literally, I'm gonna do one sim session of just this trick. Because it's not as consistent as I'd like it. But, okay. Inverted power loop for Simon Saucy. Go check out Simon Saucy's channel, by the way. I don't know what it is, but just shout out to Simon Saucy. Okay, what can we do this on? Simon Saucy, have you ever done an inverted power loop, aka Matty Flip? Okay, so this is the same for anyone who does this trick. Doesn't matter what camera angle you're doing or you're running. What you want to learn is to go through an object and just bring yourself back. Okay? It's kind of like a rocking chair type motion. Okay? So Simon Saucy, find an object, preferably like 2 trees or bushes, something that you're not going to explode on, and or even the sim, and just learn how to do this. Come back, and I'm not even joking, this is all the trick is. That's all the trick is. The higher the tilt, the easier this backwards momentum is going to be. And just look at what my sticks are doing. I mean, it is 10 degrees and it's going to be a little bit different. But so now that I've bored you with this movement, we're going to do it over this one pillar right here. This pillar right here. But we're going to continue on through this second pillar. So now that we've bored ourselves with this trick, or with that maneuver, what you want to do is just hop over this, and now you already know that last part. All you're doing is hopping over and then getting to that point of reference that you already know and coming back, right? So that point of reference that you already know is this point of reference that you've done so many times to the point where you want to vomit, right? Kick yourself back through. Kick yourself back through. Now watch, okay? Kick yourself back through. That's all there is to it. It's a little bit easier at 60 degrees, but just oopsie daisy. Just kick yourself back through. That's all it is. So we go through the object, kick yourself back through the object. Do this 100 times, kick yourself back through. And then around, kick yourself back through. And the last point is go in the sim and do exactly what I'm doing right now. You know, spend some time, dedicate some time, set aside, you know, if your sim session is 10 minutes, set aside 33.3 seconds of, or 33 minutes 33 seconds to technique, racing, freestyling, flowing, or just repetition stuff. I said that this live stream is only going to be 20 minutes. We're at 26, so hopefully that helps you, Simon Saucy. Let me just read. So since you're upside down, going backwards and pitch back. Yeah, you Simon Saucy, just get in the sim and just try it out, man. Like, look at, go through, kick yourself back out, and just do it to the point where you can't get that first part wrong. Go through, kick yourself back out. Just think of me every time you do this. Go through, kick yourself back out. Go through, kick yourself back out. When you can do that 10 times out of 10 and just rock through it, all you're doing is adding in a flip and kicking yourself back out. Okay. I'll be here again tomorrow night, probably around the same time. It was going to be a little bit earlier tonight, but then I had the choppy issue again. I just wanted to figure that out. Anyways, 9 to 10 o'clock ish is where I'm going to come on if you wanna join. But thanks for stopping by. Next time, if you guys come on, and you want me to talk you through a trick, I'll try to get that in as well. So we'll see you guys next time.